agreement at McLaren that pit stop times are part of racing. And that's what's made this so difficult. And that makes sense that a team would say pit stop times are part of racing. It makes sense.
And that's why Max Verstappen,
was laughing about this. Exactly.
Was laughing about
it. No, exactly, because every team will have pit stop times as part of racing, because it's impossible to police that. I mean, no pit stop is ever going to be the same. So you just all day going to be running after, wow, that teammate, his stop was 5/10 slower. That caused him in the end of the race to get over 10. You cannot. So that's why the team will have defined pit stop time is part of racing, just like every other team. And that's what made the situation so difficult.
Thanks for all your questions in on that one, because obviously, hot topic. Max Verstappen is the other hot topic, Nico. Let's come to you on this one. I mean, as I mentioned at the top, as if we need a reminding of his brilliance, I thought it was case in point this weekend. You think about last year at Monza, all the balance issues they had, the lack of the straight line speed. And then again, he just works his way in with a skinny rear wing, but not the skinniest rear wing in F1, in FP1, FP2, and FP3. Then flips it, doesn't he, to this really skinny wing, which is more difficult to drive. It means he's slower in the corners, but he just goes right, bang it on, and was brilliant. I mean, 20 seconds ahead of the rest. What did you learn that you didn't know already about Max Verstappen this weekend?
So Max Verstappen, top 5 driver of all time in the history of our sport. And he keeps on showing that, which is amazing. And my list is Hamilton, Verstappen, Senna, Fangio, and that's it, right? Schumacher. Yes. Yeah. So that's the list. It starts to get a pretty easy list, where most people will agree with that, I think. And his car wasn't the best car this weekend. I'm pretty sure of that. What I learned about Max Verstappen is that he's also now becoming, or has been, I don't know, so smart on that he actually does such fundamental setup decision. That's also a new facet which I hadn't seen so often yet, and that's impressive, because that's probably one of the key ingredients to the win this weekend, was his determination to push through his view on the setup, which was, we need to take more wing off. And rear wing, the simulation tells you where the optimum wing is. So the simulation, and all engineers follow simulation. So the whole engineers will see the simulation saying, no, Max, you need to run more wing than that. And Max is like, no, I want less wing than that. And he got his way, and he puts it on pole with a magical lap, or 2 magical laps. I mean, it's just unbelievable, just perfection. And then dominates the race with speed, which is really awesome. It's not 20 seconds like you say, Simon, because McLaren were rolling the dice and took a really, really horrible strategy in terms of fastest way to get from A to B. It was around 6, or what was it there before?
It was a quicker car, what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was like 5-6 seconds or what between Verstappen and the McLarens, but still, nevertheless, it's just an awesome pace that he showed there in the race. So incredible.
Just come back to you, Nico, because I remember, where was it that you were talking about where you could really see which race?
Oh, it was Barcelona, where I was watching him from the outside.
You were just watching him and just controlling the rear of the car and saying it's absolutely peerless. You've got to do that with the long radius corner like parabolic. He's got to be able, doesn't he, to be able to not trash his tires as well. And he managed to, he got some blistering, but it was still, as you said, the quickest car, even though it was sliding around more in the corners.
I would say the quickest driver, not the quickest car. I think he really did a phenomenal job, and he's just driving that. He has that tiny edge on everybody else. It's just he's that extra sensitivity, extra speed of reacting, just to balance that car magically, just on that tiny edge, is just incredible.
Is the other thing to coincide with this, that, and you mentioned it, Nico, about Max pushing Red Bull in a set-up direction. To combat that skinny rear wing, he asked for more front end. Now we know Max can
welcoming fans from across the globe to experience both the excitement of Formula One and the unique spirit of our city and country. Formula One has agreed a new deal to keep the Azerbaijan Grand Prix on the calendar until at least 2030. Advert. Become a supporter and go ad-free. The Baku City Circuit joined the calendar in 2016. The race's contract was last extended in 2023. Formula One originally gave the race the title European Grand Prix when it first appeared on the calendar. It switched to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix title the following year. The event has taken place every year since then, except in 2020, when F1 did not travel to Azerbaijan due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Baku held a single sprint event in 2023. However, the event switched back to the traditional race weekend format last year, and F1 has not indicated any of the further events at the track will include sprint races. There's an incredible energy to the city of Baku, and since our first Grand Prix here in 2016, Formula One has consistently received a warm and enthusiastic welcome from the people of Azerbaijan, said F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali. This renewal reflects the strong trust and commitment between Formula One, the Azerbaijani government, and the promoter, and paves the way for an exciting future in the country. He added, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix will remain on the Formula One calendar until 2030 after the series signed a 4-year contract extension with the Baku organizers. The race, which is generously backed by Baku's long-standing regime, was set to host its final race of its current contract next year, but will now continue to be a mainstay on the F1 calendar. F1 CEO and President Stefano Domenicali said, there's an incredible energy to the city of Baku, and since our first Grand Prix here in 2016, Formula One has consistently received a warm and enthusiastic welcome from the people of Azerbaijan. The circuit is unique, with technical sections and long straights that run through the stunning shoreline and historic Old Town, delivering an eventful and entertaining race every year. This renewal reflects the strong trust and commitment between Formula One, the Azerbaijani government, and the promoter, and paves the way for an exciting future in the country. I would like to thank President Ilham Aliyev and Minister Gayabov for their continued investment and commitment to evolving the event, Anur Alakbarov, and the Azerbaijan Automobile Federation for championing Formula One in the country, and the team at Baku City Circuit for their year-round efforts in delivering an exceptional experience for our fans, drivers, and teams. The Baku Street Circuit race celebrates its 10th anniversary this year, initially joining the F1 calendar as the European Grand Prix in 2016. Subsequently, it ran as the Azerbaijan Grand Prix ever since, only missing out in 2020 at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. The race takes place on a 6-km street circuit dominated by long straights and 90-degree corners, with a narrow castle section snaking around Baku's UNESCO-listed Old City before turning back for a flat-out blast along the Caspian seafront. Underlining its status as an anomaly on the F1 calendar, former Red Bull driver Sergio Perez is the only repeat winner since the circuit joined the calendar in 2016, while Ferrari's Charles Leclerc has yet to win the race despite snaring 4 consecutive pole positions. Keeping Baku on the F1 calendar could be good news for organizers hoping to revive Istanbul Park's Turkish Grand Prix, as it opens logistical possibilities for what is currently an awkward standalone weekend bridging the European season and the following round in Singapore.